Hello everyone and welcome to this new video from Free Dreams 106 channel. Today's video is very interesting, folks, because we are going to talk about artificial intelligence again. In a previous video, I showed you how to use an AI image generator to create wonderful works with UForge. In today's guide, we'll take a closer look at another artificial intelligence tool that could truly revolutionize 3D modeling and 3D printing. I'm talking about Hitem3D, an artificial intelligence tool that transforms any image into a 3D model ready for printing. In this video, I'll show you how it works, how easy it is to use, and I'll show you some models generated with this amazing website. And stay tuned until the end because I'll give you 3 tips on how to get the most out of this tool. So, let's cut the chase and get into it. Hitem3D is an AI platform that you can access from your browser. This website takes a 2D image and automatically transforms it into a 3D model, complete with details and precise geometry, in a matter of minutes or even seconds. For those of us who 3D print, it's a phenomenal tool, especially if you're not very skilled at 3D modeling. Imagine having only a photo or a drawing and being able to transform it into a print-ready model in just a few minutes. Wouldn't that be awesome? There are several AI software that create 3D models from images, but Hitem3D focuses on speed and accuracy. It's perfect for those who want to quickly prototype or bring original creations to life using only an image. But let's see how it works. It's really easy to use. Just upload the image you want to turn into a model to the website. Press Generate and you're done. The image can be a drawing, a photo, or concept art and can be uploaded in various formats, including JPEG, PNG, and WebP. At the end of the generation process, we are provided with a downloadable 3D file and a preview of the model. We can download the generated file in different formats: JLB, FBX, STL, or OBJ. Obviously, those of us who 3D print can select the STL format and save a file ready to be imported into our favorite slicer. Alternatively, we can also edit the model generated by Hitem3D using the modeling software we are most familiar with, downloading the format that suits us best. As a first experiment, I decided to upload an image of the Lamborghini Revuelto. Let's say that as a first test, it's complicated, but in all honesty, I didn't expect such a clean result on the first try. As you can see, the generated model is very well done and will definitely be added to my collection. The AI works with neural networks that analyze each pixel to extract shapes, volumes, and depth, thus creating the final digital model. We can also choose the resolution of the model to be generated from the resolution option. The advantage of using the lowest option is that we will save a lot of credits. In fact, the highest resolution requires 40 credits, while the lowest only requires 10. If, on the other hand, we need to faithfully reproduce the surface of the object, we can activate the texture option, which costs 10 more credits, but will allow us to have a texture as similar as possible to that of the reference image. One last option I want to show you before moving on to some experiments I've done with this website is the history. Thanks to this feature, we can easily retrieve any model we have generated from the history section. In this way, if we need to download the file to another device or in another format, we'll have no problem doing so. Now let's put it to the test. I've selected several subjects to see how Hitem3D performs with different types of models and images. Let's start with the simplest categories and work our way up to more complicated and interesting tests. Let's start with the simple, functional, everyday object, just to warm up. I've selected this very cute feather-shaped tray. It wouldn't be too difficult to model, but it has several details that would still take some time. So, let's see how Hitem3D does. Well, in no time at all, we have our model, and it's very nice in my opinion. I would say we can start testing right away and send it to print. And I would say that the final print came out very well. The model looks perfect and didn't cause any problem to the machine, nor generated any errors when I imported it into the slicer. Honestly, it's really great to be able to create an object in such a short time. But let's move on to the next level and try to generate a model of a building, such as the Colosseum. The result is very detailed and I'm excited about it. Monuments require a lot of time to be replicated digitally, but this tool makes it very easy. But let's have some fun and move on to one of the most challenging categories of subjects to model: faces. If you have tried to model someone's face, you know that digital sculpting is very complex and takes a lot of practice. So let's try to make our work easier with Hitem3D. I selected an image of Leonardo da Vinci and uploaded it to the website. The result is truly amazing in my opinion. If I had to sculpt this model digitally from scratch, it would have taken me hours. But with this tool, it's here in a few minutes at the click of a button. Of course, we can then import and refine the geometry in even greater detail if we need to. But this tool really lightens our workload. But so far, we have only seen realistic subjects. Let's put Hitem3D to the test with some fantasy characters, such as a dragon. If you're a fan of the Lord of the Rings or any other fantasy saga, you're sure to enjoy this experiment. I took an image of the Barlog as a reference, and the result is impressive. This creature turned out really well. The only thing that needs to be fixed is the horns, but we have at our disposal a useful feature. In fact, if we aren't satisfied with the generation of a model, we can click on Retry to generate it once again. But otherwise, it's ready to be printed in resin. Characters from books and movies are perfect subjects for this tool. It's not always easy to find well-made model or in the poses we need. So, Hitem3D is the ideal solution. Now that we have tested several subjects, I want to share with you some tips on how to get the most out of this tool. First of all, you must remember that photo quality is very important, just like with UForge. Sharp photos, preferably with a solid color background or PNG without a background, are perfect and will allow you to obtain accurate results more easily. Second, if a subject doesn't have a lot of details, using the lowest resolution will allow you to save credits without losing quality. This option is in fact the same resolution used by most generators you'll find around, so use the higher option if you need to replicate a lot of details or a particular texture. Thirdly, models can be checked and redefined in CAD or using Mesh Mixer. For example, you can smooth out areas that are a little less clean or check that there are no errors in the mesh. To be honest, during my experiments, I haven't encountered any problems with the model structure, but it's a tip I want to share with you in case you do. Finally, remember that the dimensions of the objects will be random. The models generated will obviously not be in the final print size, because Hitem3D has no numerical reference. So we will have to scale the files appropriately ourselves. To do this, we can again use our favorite modeling software, Mesh Mixer, or the slicer directly.
Now, let's talk about the latest function that has been added to this software. That is the multi-view generation. It's an option that I was waiting for because it allows us to generate models that are far more accurate. In fact, with this feature, we can upload multiple images of our subject from different angles. In this way, Hitem3D will have more references and the model will be more precise.
So, what do I think of this software? In my opinion, it's really amazing and interesting. It offers many advantages. First of all, it's very easy to use and you don't need any 3D modeling experience to use it. Secondly, it creates models super fast, allowing us to create several files in a very short time. It saves us a lot of time, allowing us to go from idea to final object with our 3D printers in a flash. Finally, it's super cheap. In fact, there's a special offer available right now. Both new and existing users can purchase the plan for $9.9, valid for 1 month only and available from July 21st. But what are the limitations of this website? More complex or detailed models may have imperfection related to the maximum resolution of the model and the quality of the reference photo. Furthermore, this generator does not replace our 3D printing skills, because we will have to figure out how to best prepare the file for 3D printing, for example by cutting, rotating, or adding supports. Finally, we must remember that Hitem3D is geared towards models with organic shapes rather than mechanical components. If you need to create mechanisms or objects that require precise measurements, CAD is the best solution. I honestly had a lot of fun using this tool and I will continue to use it for my projects. I think it's a phenomenal website, especially for those who are experienced in CAD modeling, but not so much in digital sculpting. Hitem3D really has vast potential, so let me know in the comments below if you have already tried it and what would you create with it. Also, let me know if you want another video on the topic of artificial intelligence combined with 3D printing, because it's a really fascinating subject. In the meantime, if you like this video, you might also like this.